I thought I'd catch you up on a few things that you might be wondering about or thinking about or worrying about. I am safe as far as the fires that are currently raging in Southern California. Yes, they're a lot closer than the ones that were raging up in Napa Valley a few weeks ago or a month ago or so. Those were like 300 to 400 miles away. These are like 30 to 40 miles away. But still, it's a long distance away. We don't have to worry about fire here. But it's not that we're totally unaffected. I didn't even know there was a fire. I was watching TV Monday night and my amp receiver started to flicker on and off, and then all of a sudden the lights went out completely. Well, I have one of these. This is kind of a cheap one. I'd like to buy a better one. It's a wind-up radio. And as the spring unwinds, it charges a little battery here. So I put this on, and I listened to KNX News Los Angeles. And that's when I learned that there was a fire in Ventura. It's a long ways away, but our electricity, the high voltage wires, come from that area. And if it burns under the high voltage wires, it affects the electricity. And that's exactly what happened. The grid actually shut down parts of the grid. We were in the shutdown area. So all of Santa Barbara, Goleta, this whole area was all blacked out, which didn't bother me too much. I mean, it would happen at after 10 o'clock at night. But what I have is I have oil lamps. I have some really nice, I shouldn't say really nice, they're nice to use. I have two oil lamps that I finally had an opportunity to use them for. I get them going when I know that storms are coming. I'll wash the glass chimney to make sure that it's not all dusty, which would eliminate some of the light. I'll light the wick and let it burn for a few minutes, because the wick, the oil will evaporate a little bit along the top of the wick and it'll build up a wax after a while, and that makes it kind of difficult to light. So I'll burn that wax off. I did that a short while ago, so they were in good shape, and I got to use those. The bad part is we're having some very cold nights. In fact, last night, our city here recorded a new low temperature for this date, 29 degrees Fahrenheit. Below 0 degrees Celsius. Can't tell whether that's a plane or a train going by. Anyways, it got cold. Well, without electricity, my heat doesn't come on. Because I need the heat to run the furnace. I need the electricity to run the furnace. And there was no electricity. So I was cold a lot of the time that night. The electricity did come on a few times during the night, and it was enough to run the furnace for a little bit, and also to run my refrigerator, because I was worried about losing the food in my freezer. Following morning, this was yesterday morning, the electricity was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. I had to be really careful when I was working on the computer to save my work. Then during the afternoon and evening, and all last night, it stayed on. There's no problem. Tonight could be a problem again. Last night was low winds. There wasn't a lot of winds. That's the problem, what they call Santa Ana winds here. We usually get those in September, October. They're winds that blow off the desert into Southern California and out over the ocean. And usually they're very hot winds because the deserts are very hot. But this time of year, the wind is very cold. That's why we're having cold nights. Last night the wind wasn't too strong, but they're anticipating high winds tonight. Could be 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. That'll make the fire rage again. I think it was 65,000 acres. That was how big the fire was this morning. 0% contained. It is raging completely out of control. They were showing this morning in the news how the fire was approaching the 101 freeway, and they said they were going to shut down the freeway. It's probably shut down by now because the fire was getting too close to the freeway. So in that sense, it's far enough away that we don't have to worry about the fire, but I am concerned about the electricity. So I do have flashlights all over the house. I have my oil lamps ready. The other issue is smoke. The smoke has been blowing somewhat this way. Thankfully, most of it has been out over the ocean, but once in a while when the wind is coming in just the right direction, it comes through here. They've been telling us if you can smell smoke, stay in the house with your windows closed if at all possible. I did go for a bike ride this morning on my electric bike to do some shopping, and yeah, I was fine. I couldn't smell any smoke out there. I could see out over the ocean, the gray, so I knew it was way out over the ocean, but it hasn't come inland yet. And the sunsets, I have to say, are kind of pretty. They have a nice orange glow to them because of the smoke. So that's the story. I'm safe. I'm not in any kind of fire danger. The only issue is electricity and smoke, if the smoke becomes a problem at all. I wanted to give you an update. In one of my vlogs, I cauterized my nose, remember? I have not had a single nosebleed. Not one since then. I actually feel as though I did a better job than the specialist did the last time I went to a specialist and had it cauterized, because they use a bigger swab. It's got a big bead of silver nitrate on the end, and my gut feeling about it is it's probably a very low causticity. That is a word, caustic. Very low grade one that doesn't do a whole lot of burning, because I don't remember feeling much tingling in there as far as burning when they would do it, and I would get nosebleeds anyways. This time, because it had a little bead of the chemical, I'm sensing that it was a higher concentration, and it did the job. It did the job. I could feel that burn. I mean, it wasn't a really painful burn, but I could feel the burning in there, and it did it. I feel like I did a better job than the ear, nose, and throat specialist, and I did it myself. I can blow my nose. I can take a shower, wash my face, no blood coming down, falling on my chest, dry my face, no blood in the towel. Sneeze, sniff, no bleeding. It's been wonderful, because the week before I did the thing myself, I had a nosebleed almost every single day. It was just awful. It was awful. So cauterizing my own nose, hey, I did the right thing. And the other thing I wanted to mention, the reason why I went shopping this morning, is I don't think I mentioned in one of these vlogs that I bought an Instant Pot. A very popular gift item this year. In fact, I think it was Black Friday that I ordered it. There's Black Friday and then there's Cyber Monday, and I get the two. I mean, I know one is Friday and one is Monday, but I can't remember when I ordered it. But I saw in the news they were saying hottest ticket item this year is the Instant Pot, which is a countertop cooker. It's a pressure cooker, slow cooker, multifunction. And they said if you can find one, buy it, because a lot of the stores are selling out, Walmart and so forth. I went online and Amazon had them, and they had it on a one-day only deal of the day special. They normally sell for $120, $75. I ordered it, and by that afternoon they were gone. They had sold out, and they're back up to $120 again, so I got a good deal on it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do my mom's beef stew recipe, or something close to it. I don't know how she did it for sure. I don't think she slow cooked it. I think she used a pressure cooker. I want to do some slow cooking, because people have been telling me how wonderful it is. You set up the pot in the morning, 8 hours later, food is ready to eat. It seems like it's a pretty good deal. That's what I want to do. But beef can be kind of expensive. But up the street here at the Smart and Final store, beef chuck, the steaks and the roasts, were $2.87. I think it was $2.87 per pound. They're normally $4.99 per pound. That's nearly half price, a little bit more than half price. So limit 4 packages. So I biked up to the store and bought 4 packages, and they're in the refrigerator now. I'm waiting for one more thing to arrive, because I want to. A friend of mine, he bought one for his girlfriend a couple years ago, and she found these liners, these plastic liners that you can put inside the pot and cook in that. And when it's done, you take your food out, lift out the liner, throw it in the trash, no cleanup. I like that idea because the Instant Pot's metal pot is a nuisance to clean. I'd give it 5 stars, but I would give it only 4 stars because of the pot that they use. I wish they used a brushed stainless steel rather than a polished stainless steel. It just doesn't, that's another story. But anyways, I'm waiting for those liners to come in. They're ordered. I'll probably get them next week sometime, and then I'll start doing some recipes. Oh, I want to show you something. Hold on. I have on my tablet Slow Cooker 101, Master the Slow Cooker with 101 Great Recipes, edited by Perrin Davis, it looks like. So I've got a cookbook. That might be flickering on your screen, I'm not sure. But I got it on my little tablet so I can actually have it in the kitchen with me when I'm doing some of these recipes. So that's what I want to do, because I got to tell you, I tried my first beef stew disaster. What's a disaster? It was a disaster. It just didn't come out. The vegetables didn't cook well enough. I had to switch it over to a boiling cycle to boil the vegetables for 10 minutes. And then I didn't like the flavor. Yeah. Hey, you win a few, you lose a few, right? But I'm thinking with recipes, I'll be able to be a lot more successful. So that's the plan. Many of my future cooking videos on YouTube will be with the slow cooker. I even can make yogurt in it. It has a yogurt cycle. And that's what I want to do for one of the videos, is I want to make my own yogurt. I used to make yogurt years ago, many years ago, like 25, 30 years ago. And it was kind of fun. I had a cardboard box with a light bulb in it and a potentiometer, a dimmer, and then a thermometer. And I would increase or decrease the electricity to the bulb to control the heat inside. Set up my pot, I had a plastic bucket, food bucket, that I would put everything in, and I made yogurt. And it made pretty good yogurt. Well, I've got a slow cooker now that'll make the yogurt for me. So watch my food channel on YouTube, my Mobile Home Gourmet channel, or go to my website, mobilehomegourmet.com. I'll put the URL down there for you. All of my recipes have, pretty near all of them have videos on YouTube. And by going to the recipe in the website, there's a green button, view the video, click that. That'll take you over to YouTube where you can watch the video. All of those, nearly all of those recipes, over 300 of them, have videos. So that's the plan. That's the story. That's where I'm at right now. No nosebleeds. I'm safe from the fire. A little bit of smoke to deal with. Hopefully the electricity won't go off too much. Like tonight is South Park. I don't want it to go off while I'm watching South Park. I like South Park. So that's the latest. Thanks for putting up with me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. Tell others about it, because I'm trying to get my subscriptions up. And thanks for listening.